Yeah, we're back with our lesson. In our last class, we are discussing on the IoT architecture outline. In depth, we had discussed, and we have discussed layer by layer, where asset layer, which we had discussed, and in asset layer, the asset is purely a real world entity which we have taken into the consideration, and that entity should be a thing like that. It should be in a monitoring. We can done a monitoring on that particular thing, and we can do some recordings, observations on that particular thing. So that type of an asset will be used in IoT projects that we had discussed, and where you can sustain that access to an digital representations. So that type of an access. Then in a resource layer, which we have seen like that, in a resource layer, we have seen we are going to use sensors, actuators, and the nodes which we are going to use, and that nodes will act as gateways. That also we have discussed. That means it's going to collect values from the entity, means assets, whichever is there, the sensors will collect, and that signal, whatever will be there, the electrical signal will be converted into a value, which I told, and that value you can utilize in a program, and you can do a coding in that particular board in an embedded microcontroller, and you can burn your code, and it will work according to that particular condition you are going to extract the value. So in other side, the another layer is an important layer, that is a communication layer. So that layer will also plays in a very important role. That is, as I told you, that how communication is very much important, how internet is very much important. And I have given examples also of in a real time, that how if you lost the internet, what will be the thing? If communication is not there, means communication constraint arises. Even though your project is very good and you have did a very good coding and all, if you doesn't pass that information to the other things, so means in other side, assume the mobile or an some microdata or motor or something like that, to other device which is a far place. So even communication plays a very much important role there, how internet should be. So what type of internet we should use, either we will go for a mobile communication using a smartphones. In that, what will be the problem will be there based on a signal and all. And so that we had discussed in the last class. The next particular layer will be in a service-oriented layer. So that service-oriented layer will give in a services. Means we have seen and we have observed the different services there. What are the services? I have told you that battery backup may be one of the main services which we are going to take, even a connectivity. That is another one very important in remote places, and how we can maintain a power in our boards or on sensors. Then how this service support you can give in one particular way meets the other services which we need in our particular IoT projects. So that we have discussed. And coming to the data and information layer also, we have discussed how much important is whatever data we are collecting through a sensors, and we are going to keep the data in one particular form, and we will put a tags for that particular data, and what this particular data is there and where this data should be gone, means we will prepare a different clusters there. So with that particular thing, we will make some information. So out of this information, we are going to make a knowledge frames also. So KWF we are going to make. So how we are going to make any knowledge frames there? What is the knowledge frame actually to say? What's the difference between information and a knowledge frame? I have told you clearly. Information is one where it will be some meaningful thing will be there. But knowledge frame is that where either it's meeting my goal, I'm getting some knowledge from that, I'm running towards my goal or not, objective or not. So that is a knowledge which will give. So as I give an example of addition of two numbers, if I require, if you are going to do a subtraction of two numbers, That's also an information, but it doesn't need for me. I need a addition of two numbers, so I need that. That's in a knowledge frame for me. So out of this particular data, what you are collected in a cloud, so how you are going to make a useful information out of that, and how you are going to make a knowledge frame, means how you are representing that to an end user. So in which way you are representing that to an end user, either you are representing in a graphical way, either you are in some informations you have to represent in a graphical way, then the customer or an end user can understand easily. Some information you have to display in a textual format. Like that, different ways is there to represent. Why? Because I can say like this: if I put one Python program, or say if I put some Arduino program like this, and I will tell one common man, end user, see, this is a program to in our project. You analyze this. Then he will tell, no, I don't know this. What is this? He will ask. So what way you are going to represent that? Means I will run the program and I will get an output of that. That output, whatever is it, I'm going to represent to that particular user. Means which he can use that. So like that, so how you are giving a knowledge to an end user, not to you, an end user, the person who is using your project, means the person would for in a mind whom you have kept and you have did your project. So that particular person should understand the final output what you have given. And if you tell him, yes, this is the output I have given, but he couldn't understand that, how to operate, for example, how to operate and how to handle that particular project, then it's useless. So that is a one very important. You may have the information in a cloud. How you are representing that to the end user, a common man. For example, you do an app in apps with icons. You are going to represent that. Some motor symbol will be there, on and off will be there. Like that, you if you are going to represent, yeah, on button, you will click. So instead of that, if you do any other things, definitely you couldn't understand. For example, if you tell him like this, you send a SMS or a message, that so and so message on or a half message, then I'm going to work. No, means he doesn't have that much time. So pressing a button is very easy to him. So that's why you have to create an app. So like this, different how you are going to make a knowledge frames out of that particular information that will comes in this particular layer, and application layer. So application layer, we have discussed that we are on which particular application we are going to do, whether a smart building or a grid. What is that particular application is, understanding the application first is very much important. So in last class, this much we had discussed, and we are discussing on a business layer. So now we'll back to this knowledge management framework, which we had discussed in the last class. Coming to next, the business layer also provides exposure to APIs for a third parties to get access to data and information, and can also contain a support for direct access to applications by human users. For instance, city portal services for citizens in a smart city context are providing a necessary data visualization to the human workforce in a particular enterprise. So this how a business layer is going to work. Means business layer will always it will be exposed through an APIs. So application programming interfaces, the two open APIs today it's playing a very important role. So I will give one authentication in a last class when we are going to when we did a program on Node MCU. You have seen that I've used a Blink. App to create one particular app to connect to in a node MCU. There they have given one authentication code. So what is that authentication code? That with that authentication code, I am going to connect to the Blink server. That is very much important. I'm going to connect to how I'm going to connect to the Blink server through this APIs. So that is an API key. With that API key, authentication key with my username and a password, Wi-Fi username or a hotspot username and a password, what I have entered. With that, we have going to connect to that particular Blink means server. Now what you have did in a mobile now, downloading a Blink and all, what you have did everything button and all, that code whatever is that also be there in that particular server. So you will be connected with the means your mobile is going to connect with your node MCU via the Blink server. So this the third party here. Who is the third party for me? The Blink is in a third party for me. So how I should handle these particular things? So these third parties to access the data and information. So he is a person who is main in my particular project. So with his server traffic or with his server whatever connectivity is there, I should going to work. Not only a Blink, you can use ThinkSpeak. Whatever you are going to use, based on that you have to work. But coming to a business, if I am doing a business, assume now the Blink, what they have did, I will ask you like this: what a Blink company will get out of this? Everything is free here. Why Blink company? Can anybody answer this question? Why they are doing all these things? Means you can freely download a Blink app and you can freely create a button, everything and there, and Blink package means library packages Arduino is very free. You can download, which I have shown you there in Arduino, and we have downloaded and we have connected to the Blink software. Just you have seen on that day. You can tell what Blink will get on this. So they are giving for a free. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody can answer this question? What I'm asking you, did you got it? So what Blink will get, how a Blink will do a business, they are going to give a free, all these things. How they are doing it, things means they are giving APIs, everything as a free, and they are connecting to their servers. And like this, how many persons will be there? Those who are doing a Blink apps, assume, or Blink projects, using a Blink projects, how many they are doing IoT projects, many will be there, in a lakhs together will be there. So what's the benefit they are going to get? Anybody? Answer ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Anybody? Anybody? Come on. Ajay? Ajay? ಇಲ್ವಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು? ಶಶಾಂಕ್? ಶಶಾಂಕ್?
ಶಶಾಂಕ ಸರ್.
ಶಶಾಂಕ್ ಮಲಗಿದಾನ ಅವನು? ನೀನ್ ಹೇಳು ಶಶಾಂಕ್.
ಏನ್ ಸರ್?
ಇವಾಗ ನಂಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಅ ಬ್ಲಿಂಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್, ಹೌ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಎ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಫ್ರೀ. You can download app freely and you can build an app, your own project in that freely, and you can connect freely to a Blink server with token API. So what they will get, how they will do a business? ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ.
ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಆಪ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ.
ಹೇಗೆ?
ಥ್ರೂ ISP.
Very good, very good. See, whenever you are going working with that particular app and all, you are going to connect to an internet. So if you connect a internet, how much data you are using? This is very much important. To work with that particular project, how much data you are using. That ISP provider will give a money to that particular company. So in this way, even in ThinkSpeak, you can see. Even in ThinkSpeak, if you go and create a user, it will access, means you can create a user freely, and it will give you a space there, and it will ask you how many sensors you are going to connect to me, and you will tell that these many sensors I am going to connect. It will give you a space of chart for you, and every time how much you will connect it to the internet, the readings will be keep on coming. What is the advantage here for that any ThinkSpeak or on a Blink is like that? These IoT projects should be connected to the internet anytime. This is very much important. That means my sensor will keep on reading the values and it will keep on sending that values to the thing speaker continuously. Whenever there is a threshold thing is there, vary is there, then automatically from there the value I am going to take and it will works. Means it will give a notification to the mobile app. There, if the person clicks on, the pump will on. See, if you take a drip irrigation into the consideration. Now, when the data should go to the mobile, when the threshold, maximum threshold level you have crossed, that means there is no moisture. So that particular level, so that value, whatever triggered is there, that value automatically will be sent from that thing speaker to your particular mobile. You will write a code like that in accessing whatever value it's going to keep in your cloud. If the value is so and so rate, means within this particular value, then you give the notification in an app. So you will write a code in this side, mobile application side. So after writing that code, you will give the things means button and all whatever will be there. Once the on means button is pressed, again that information should go to the cloud, and from there you are handling your actuator. So means pump you are going to handle. So how much internet you are going to use here? Anytime you are using an internet. So how much like this? How many users will be there? So how much of data that users are using per day, and how much of per month they are using? So how much crores together money that company can generate? So every all these type of companies will work like that. Coming to the next, the business layer relies on IoT applications as one set of enablers out of many, and takes care of necessary orchestration and composition to support a business process workflow. Now, what actually this? See, IoT applications, how many enablers you can access this particular project or this particular cloud. How many of you can work with my particular business? I have made one IoT project, and that IoT project, for example, assume air pollution project we have did, and in that air pollution project, I am going to give access to the traffic figures, and I am going to give access to the pollution board authority, and I am going to give access to the different hospitals, and like that. So there, what hospitals can take a data from me, and what the traffic persons can take a data from my particular cloud archive, what's the information I have stored in my project, and what actually the pollution board can take. So these three actors, whoever are there, they want the data in a different view. So how we can give, and what is the limitations to give a data from our side? So how I can restrict that particular person? This is another business, how much support I can give. In addition to the functional layers, three functional groups will be there as an across layers, as I told you in the beginning itself. So that cross layers, now we'll discuss about that cross layers. The cross layers are management, security, and IoT data services. The former two are well-known functions of a system solution, that is management and security, whereas the later one is more specific to the IoT. What is this? IoT data services. It's only specific, IoT data and services is only specific to the IoT projects. But in all other projects, whatever the common projects are there the management and security will be there as a cross-layer approach. The management, as the name implies, deals with the management of various parts, the system solution related to its operation, maintenance, administration, and provisioning. So this is a very much important where actually in our in your student projects and all you will miss this. Means almost all I can say you will miss this. The management in a different stages of your project is very much important. At an operation level, how you are going to handle with the particular data, and in a maintenance, how you have to do the maintenance of that particular project. And administration, how you can admin that project, and provisioning, what provisioning you can give to a user. So all this management policies should be adapted on that, and you should work on that principles, and you should be adhered to that particular principles. Otherwise, what happens in a market, when you think about a market, many competitors will be there. So many competitors will be there. Out of that competition in a business, so how you can compete with that particular products? It all comes with the this management concepts. When we should update, for example, when I should update my operation levels, when I should become a smart maintenance, when I should give a maintenance to my customer. So how a maintenance I should give to my customer? As I told you that my refrigerator itself, if anything goes wrong, itself it will send me the message to your mobile that in your refrigerator so and so part is not working. If my car tells me like that, how much happy I will, as a customer I will be. So that things, if my water purifier will do that, even my battery system, whatever is there, UPS system, whatever in their house, many persons per day. For example, I will tell you, yesterday or day before yesterday and all, I keep on getting a calls from the battery or UPS service providers. Sir, your inverter service, can we do? Can we come and do? They are asking. How I can believe them? Either my inverter is working or not. My inverter is working presently. It doesn't have any problem. But what they will tell, the maintenance will be there. So until battery gets dried up, means distilled water, how much is there, and all, we should check. So until battery gets dried up, it will keep on working. If I doesn't look it out, or if I doesn't track it, definitely battery will be gone out. So in this particular connection, how we should plan this? As a customer, I'll tell you how I can believe that persons who are calling. Just assume that distilled water, everything will be there and it's working correctly. Simply they will call and they will tell, as yeah, you have told to come and see maintenance minimum. When we come and see what is the problem, everything is correct, sir, it's working. To tell that also, I should give you money. Why? Because they came on a long way from from their office, and they will tell the minimum charges is 350 or 500 rupees. Even my system is working, why I should give money to them? Now assume that now same inverter system with a battery, one company is a luminous, whichever you will take, luminous like that, they will adapt a, automations, and they will tell, see, our inverter will tell how, means how a battery distilled water, what level is there, when it needs a service, when inverter needs a service, what are the components which are there in a inverter, and which component is going out, means which is coming a heavy heat. So maybe this needs a service. So if they will give automatically to me, then it's very useful. In a market, if these two items are there, one with this and one another with now what percent I have told you, definitely as a customer, even though some 5 to 6,000 it's more, I'll go for the other one. Why? Because the system itself will tell when it needs a service. So these type of adaptations in a regular business items or regular business products, whatever is there. So this makes you a more competitor, or means I can say like this, which will improve the business. I have told you a live example. If you are having any interruptions in that or any doubt in that, you can ask me. Definitely, which the problem we are facing. Your water purifier fellows, they will keep on calling and they will ask, sir, water purifier service you want, we will come. How I should know that my water purifier is not working? Water is coming, it's working, and all. How the pHP means the water content value and all I can test. I don't have a kit. So until it gets full corrected, the end user doesn't know. So how to do these things? So if you plan the business with the automations like this, definitely the more improvement will be there. The managing of this particular ways is very much important. This includes the management of devices, communication networks, very much important. Communication networks management is, it's a very big thing. So which type of a network should be needed to our project? As I given many examples that a mobile network gets down. Many times we have seen in our online class itself, we are facing a lot of problems. Then what about the device or in a project where human interaction will not be there? Yesterday also I told you, the general information technology, whatever is there, that infrastructure as well as configuration and provisioning data, performance of services delivered, etc. All this management will plays a very much important role. Don't think like that. Have did an IoT project. Whatever input I have given, I got an output. My project is completed. No, it's not like that. So how your management of the project, how you are doing your project after selling the product, how you are going to give a service, and how your product after selling it is there with the customer, either customer is satisfied or not. So what is the customer feedback? So when it comes to the business line, you have to think all these particular things. Coming to the next, security is about a protection of the system 100%. It's information and service from external threats or any other harm. Today means IoT is still it's not in that full fledged and means why the reason is I can say like this, the problem with the security. The security is a very big problem where hackers will be there. Even when human interactions of that website, whatever apps, whatever is there, as humans we are using, in that moment also they will hack and they will take our information. Means where human interaction will not be there, only sensors and my nodes will be there. Automatically it's working. Assume that if somebody will hack that particular node, any node it may be. So if they will hack that particular node and they will do a reverse something like that. So what's the harmful? And assume that we are using that project in any important things like water quality management, especially in BBMP like that. If they will make some changes and all, it will become a reverse. So, and especially in a chemical factories, making a capsules and all, if something varies, if they will, means our machine, our automated machine will put a somewhat small, more chemical into a capsule, then it leads to a human lives. So how very importantly this security will play a very much important role. Security measures are usually required across all layers or for instance providing a communication security and information security. Trust and identity management and authentication and authorization are the key capabilities. So always when you go with the free things, the big things, big whatever will be there, whenever free things you are going, it's always opened for things. As a students and as a professors, when we are doing a trial basis of a prototype of a product and all, it's good. But when it comes to the business level and all, they will adapt on VPNs and they will have their own servers. So like that, they will give a security, and that device entirely whatever is there will be covered with an VPNs and identified with an VPN. Then there will be a no problem. Why? Because a tunnel will be established to an outer public where they doesn't know the original IP address of that particular device. For this and all, what you have to do, you should go for an lease line. That means you should go for lease line internet. You should go and you should have your own VPNs provided. So for this and all, the cost will be there. So as a business, you should make that particular things. Coming to the next thing is data and service processing can, from a topological perspective, be done in a very descriptive fashion and at different levels of complexity. So when I should get the data and when what service I should give in which level. So that is a very much important. Basic event filtering and simpler aggregation such as data averaging. So when I want to make a data averaging, how much data I got for last 2 months, last 3 months, how much data I got in that particular data, which particular metric is varying a lot. In air pollution only, how carbon footprints is varying out of 6 metrics in last 4 months in that particular location. So if I these for these particular things and all, the data averaging is a very much important. That way, the data analytics you have to do can take place in individual sensor nodes in the below sense means wireless sensor networks or contextual metadata such as location and temporal information can be added to sensor readings, and further aggregation can take place higher up in the network topology. Now, more advancing processing is, for instance, data mining and data analytics that can be done in near real time. Today, the world is with this data mining and data analytics. A vast of a data of in a real time data will be there, and you have to analyze and you have to take out your own. Means this functional group thus represents the vertical flow of data into a knowledge. So how you will take out and how will you make a knowledge frames out of that? That's very much important. The abstraction of data and services in different levels and process steps of extracting knowledge will place a very much important. As the knowledge layer is focused on the organization and representation of a knowledge. This I told many times. When you are representing a knowledge, you are representing your company, you are representing your entire your company status. I can say like that to a customer. How you are satisfying him, so how you are making him to understand the information, so that what type of representation I should need. The representation itself is very much important. This is damn very much important. The representation itself is very much important. This functional group is focused on different processing steps in the data and services value chains. Thus, at different levels of granularity and abstractions, we are going to extract the data. Now, this is the overall IoT project. When you are doing overall architecture, you have to keep in your mind what are cross layers. Either I have adapted all three cross layers in this, and all layers are there. Functionality of all layers are there in my project. When you want to make a real-time product, that always you have to keep in your mind. When I want to make a real-time product, whether all these terms are there. Today, you are doing some 27 IoT projects. In each and every project, you individually you may think either I am adapting an IoT architecture. To what level extent I am adapting this particular architecture? What Sir has told this particular layers. In my project, either this layer is working. So if you adapt like that, the intention of this subject, why they have kept, it will be very easy to you to understand, and especially company needs that type of understanding level, not like only what theoretically I read and you written in exam and you are gone. No, it's not like that. How the adaptation of this theoretical concept you are going to adapt into your project, that plays a very much important role. What extent? I'm telling you, I'm not telling you like that you have to make a business product. No, not like that. To do a business product and all, what I told in a communication, VPNs, everything you need. No, not like that. To what extent, at least, sir, these layers I have applied to this extent. Security, no one will focus on a security. Sir, security, I have made this much security thing in my particular thing. These validations I have made. For example, when you want to access my particular device, it will ask you username and a password. Authentication I will do, small security validations. So like that. So data analysis I'm going to do in this particular way, sir. So I did data analytics. Why I'm telling, if yours is an IoT project, cloud is must always I'm telling. Oh, that's not my see why I'm telling a cloud is must. If you know the basic knowledge of accessing a cloud through your node and accessing a cloud with your mobile, then there in a cloud, what data you want to put and what data you want to extract from that particular, what information you want to extract from that cloud, if you know, there you have to do data analytics. Means you will get at least the basic knowledge of that particular data analytics. Yeah, lot of combinations things are there in IoT. You will come to know about a cloud. You will come to know about a data analytics. You will come to know about an hardware. You will come to know about a different sensors. Assume how much you are going to learn. How many subjects you are going to learn in other way. I can say like that. Coming to the next thing, just convert. Yes, yeah. Now you can see standards considerations. What is the standards considerations? This is the last topic in this particular model. Systems perspective, you can make enabling a technology development, information and communication technologies, and applied M to M. So these many groups you can make and how you are going to adapt this in a different stages. Who are the other persons who are helping you in this particular thing? So applied M to M, how you are going to apply this for a different companies. Means they are going to all companies together, they are making some standardizations. How this standardizations, you can say this. The primary objective of any technology-oriented standardization activity is to provide a set of agreed upon specifications that typically addresses issues like achieving interoperability in a market with many actors and suppliers. Underline this. What is this? We'll all together, will all companies who are out there, will all together will make one thing. Means one standardization that year afterwards, if you want to exchange an information or some agreed upon specifications, if we are going to exchange interoperability, achieving we want to do in a market between different suppliers and actors, we all together will come and will make. Somebody will be connected to actors and somebody will be connected to suppliers, somebody will be connected to people. Assume three different companies. If these three different companies come together, definitely they can make some business. There are a number of standardization organizations and bodies, both proper standards development organization (SDEO) as well as special interest groups and alliances that develop standard specifications. Always the standard specifications will be there, like IETF is there, ISO is there. Different standards will be there. You can see different national and international bodies ratify standards by STO, whereas standard specifications developed by special interest groups and alliances are normally agreed upon and adopted by market actors such as technology manufacturers. This is very much important. Different technologies will be there. For example, I will tell you, I will make a sensor and this sensor will be there only for Arduino board. Then no, the market will not suit that. My sensor is there and my sensor will fit to Arduino board, Node MCU, as well as Raspberry Pi, whatever the board you take, it will suit to that. Then your sensor is good. So how your Raspberry Pi or Arduino or Node MCU will allow your sensor into its architecture? Means some standard specific when they are doing the board of Node MCU or whatever they are doing the board, entire board or a microcontroller, they will give an options keeping in mind that this is the standard GPIOs which we are general purpose input output pins which we are going to use, and these many pins will be there and these many things will be some standardization. You observe that these standardizations must be there, otherwise you can't connect with this particular things. One we have made Arduino device is there, and this should be connected to the device where is there with the Raspberry Pi. Assume, for example, I tell you can connect. So examples of international SDOs are International Telecommunications Union (ITU) and the International Organization for a Standard (ISO). I told you. Whereas the European Telecommunication Standards, that is ETSI, is a different. So all this, another one is the European Community for Electrotechnical Standardization, that is CNELEC, are examples of regional STOs. And these STOs today, it's ruling the world. I can see means ITU, ISO, you know ISO, even they have given a network referential model, OSI model is given by them. You know this, how a standardization means everyone will follow that. International Telecommunications Union, all telecommunications means your mobile communications, how it should work in one particular way. If I take my set to one country to another country, I can call there also. I can use my particular mobile. If I move from Karnataka to Andhra, there also I can use. Either it may be a roaming, not an issues. But how these things it comes in international telecommunication union standardizations. Means they will have one phenomena to connect. European telecommunication standard is somewhat different. European they will have their own standards where you should follow that particular thing. Other independent international standardization organization include the World Wide Web. This is there, the three W3C consortium and the Internet Engineering Task Force (IETF). So especially based on different websites, apps, and how you are going to connect with this internet tasking and all means cyber things, security wise, cyber crimes means what's the policies. Everything will comes with this World Wide Web consortium and Internet Engineering Task Force. Next, from an M2M and an IoT perspective, one can make a distinction between standards developed within the information and communication technology (ICT) industry and standards that are developed with a specific industry segment, such as the health, transportation, whatever you are going to use. Two things always when you are doing an IoT project, you will have two parts always. One is you are connecting to which entity, what is that entity and how that entity will behave, what is the in and outs of that entity, what hardware you are going to use. And another one is internet, means ICT, how all this behavior, information, everything you are taking and you are transferring to a different place. For that you need a ICT. So information and communication technology. So these two things is the more major things which will play a role. The second consideration is that some standardization activities define entire systems or parts of systems and other standards organizations target development of a specific pieces of technologies or as I told you that how a technology should be there, means how this technology should be used. First, you should concentrate with ICT and your devices and how your technology means what this sensor is used with which board. Yeah, this sensor is possible with this, either which is analog sensor, which is a digital sensor. Can I use this with this board like that? So that specifications is also very much important. The third or a final consideration is about the life cycle process of standards. Many times standards are emerging as a result of collaborative research involving both academia and industry. Until then, this academia and industry, we are also a part. Always people will think like that. I want a degree for a certificate and I will go afterwards I will go to industry and there and it will be a different. No, no, don't think like that. Always academia and industry will be together. What the things you want to do here, it will represent and it will become, you will become a person who can have a connectivity with that collaborative research which you can do, and that is nothing but a small projects what you are going to do and adding up to your resumes. That projects will itself will become an research, collaborative research between academia and industry. Many companies are there where they will give an internship to you and you can work. Right. So this is the one thing. So this ends your second unit and almost all you are given the assignment, but somebody are not still given the assignment. You have to give that. Right. So thank you. The second unit is fully completed today and we are stepping into the third unit from next class. I'll stop this sharing. I want to tell you something. Uh, yeah. See, one of your alumni has started a company by name Abhishek and Abhishek Shetty Sagar. They have made a company app and a web development company, startup company. They have made another two friends of them. They have joined and they have made, and they got a project about the horticultural nursing maintenance. You know what is this horticultural nursing maintenance? Some plants they will sell as a horticultural nursing. You know this? They will sell plants and all. Are you listening, everyone? Listening? This is very important what I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah, see, they got
Yes,
a
sir.
project from that particular company, the horticultural company, and they want the workers to work with them. Means they need other persons also. They approached me that, sir, anybody interested, means our department students, anybody interested to work with us, always they are opened. Means they can contact us and they can work with us from home itself. Today in this pandemic, you can work with home itself, and they are going to pay something to you also, and they will give you a internship certificate also from their company. And this is an add-on to you. Sitting in a house, you can focus on that also. How many anybody are interested? Please call me. I will give their number to you. You can contact them and you can start working with them. You will get in a real time experience how real time projects you can do. If possible, you can extend your project, same project for a 6M also, not on a problem. So where a lot of means working experience you are going to get with them, and they are very good guys. Really, it's great that our alumni they are starting a startup. So you will also get an idea that how these projects will be there. So anybody interested, please call me. I'll refer your names. Okay. I'll take attendance now. Any doubt is there, you can ask me. ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಅಸಲಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಡೌಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್. ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಾ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಆದಿತ್ಯ, ಅಜಯ್
Yes, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲೋಗಿದ್ದು ಅವಾಗ್ಲೇ?
ಸರ್ ಪವರ್ ಕಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಟ್ ಆದ.
ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಇಂಟರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್, ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಮೀ. ಅಮಿತ್?
Yes, sir.
ಅಂತಿಮ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಿಮ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ? ಅಂತಿಮ, ಅಪೂರ್ವ,
Present, sir.
ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ,
Yes, sir.
ಬಿಂದು,
Yes, sir.
ದಿವ್ಯೇಶ್. Why Divyesh continuous absent from, I can say, from 28/9? Any problem with him? Any problem with him? Any of his friends? What's the problem with Divyesh? Huh? Gaurish?
Yes, sir.
Gautami?
Present, sir.
Gunashekar?
Present, sir.
Harini?
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Okay, ma, okay. Surya?
Present, sir.
Naina?
Present, sir.
Nazma? Nazma ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? ನೆನ್ನೆನೋ ಅಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್. Nazma? ನಿಧಿ?
Present, sir.
ನಿಧಿ?
Present, sir.
Pradeep? Okay, ma. Pradeep?
Sir.
Rajesh? Sorry, Preeti?
Present, sir.
Rajesh? Sahadev?
Present, sir.
Saket? Saket, Santosh,
Yes, sir.
Seema,
Yes, sir.
Sinchana, Ilva Sinchana,
Sir. Present, sir.
okay ma, Spurti,
Present, sir.
Shashank,
Present, sir.
Varsha,
Present, sir.
Yashashwini,
Present, sir.
Amruta,
Sir.
Anusha,
Present, sir.
Apurva K,
Present, sir.
Sai Siddharth,
Yes, sir.
Chetana,
Present, sir.
Kavya,
Present, sir.
last 2 classes ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಾವ್ಯ ಕಾವ್ಯ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್
No, sir.
ಸರಿ ಮಧುಶ್ರೀ
Present, sir.
ಮನೀಶ್
Present, sir.
ಸರ್ಫರಾಜ್
Present, sir.
ಮುರುಗೇಶ
Present, sir.
ಮಣಿ ಪರೇಶ್
Present, sir.
ಪೂಜಾ
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರತಿಭಾ
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರತೀಕ್ ಸಾಧನಾ
Present, sir.
ಶಶಾಂಕ್
Present, sir.
ಏಯ್ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇನಾ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ
ಕಾಲ್ ಬಂತು ಸರ್ ಹಾಗೆ
ಆ
ಕಾಲ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ನಿಂಗೆ
ಸರ್ ಅಮೆಝಾನ್ ಒಂದ್ಸರ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಸರಿ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ
Present, sir.
ಶ್ರೀಧರ್
Present, sir.
ತನೋಜ್
Present, sir.
ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಿ
Present, sir.
ಹನಿ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಹನಿ ಆಶೀಶ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಾಣಿ
Present, sir.
ವಿಶಾಲ್
Present, sir.
See, listen students, the one thing I want to tell you about that company, you be clear, it's very good, you can work it out and you'll get an internship certificate which will help for your further companies, whatever it's coming. So it will be very helpful that you can tell I'm working with the startup. Next, one thing. Coming to the next thing, so the next review of a project, 13th, coming Tuesday, will be the both combination of 6th and 13th. That means half of the project you have to show. Very clear, I'm telling you. So half of the project means you have to connect a sensors to your board, and from that board you have to transfer a data to the cloud. That's it. So that much you have to do. This mobile part and all we'll do later, not an issue. So in a project wise, you have to explain clearly, and that will be taken into the consideration. Right? Are you getting?
Okay, sir.
Sir.
Right. So when will be the first test? I will tell you later, but this review plays a very much important role and marks will be there for this review also. Instead of test, what we will do like this. Review 1, review 2, review 3. 3 reviews. 1 review gone, I think. We'll combine with this. So review 1 and review 2 means another phase, whatever full is there. In between, I will keep another one. 3 reviews will be there. Marks for that 3 reviews and then your report. So your entire internal marks will be based on 3 reviews and 1 report. So distribution of the marks, I will let you know. Don't worry about that. But it's like a test. 3 reviews means review 1 is first test, review 2 is second test, review 3 is the third test. For reporter, like a record, you will have a marks. So review 1, 2, 3 plays a very much important role, and this is like 3 tests which we are going to do, and we are going to evaluate on that, both Sridhar madam and myself, and we are going to give a marks to that particular thing. So whatever objective I have told for these 3 reviews, you have to follow that. So first review will be there with the first part. So second review will be there with concentrating on a second part, that is connecting a cloud to a mobile and mobile app. What are the different entities you have used and all, and then how you are connecting mobile app to cloud and how you're fixing a thresholds and all. So that plays a very much important role. So these 2 things you have to do in a second review. And coming to third review, entire your project thing means demo you have to give. So marks will be there for first, second, third review, right? Right? Getting? Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop this recording. Stop this.